This is the introductory video to my debate with Labarum312. I want to present again the question under consideration, and it is, does the doctrine of the papacy follow from the witness of Holy Scripture and early church traditions? And during this video debate, he and I will be both using the Revised Standard Version. Of course, we would both be using Greek and Hebrew references when needed as well. And Albert, in order to help you to prepare, let me give you an outline now of what I will be attempting to do in the questions under consideration. First of all, I feel that it would be necessary to establish a continuation of the priesthood to begin with. In other words, there are people who feel that a priest in the line of Christ or the Old Testament priest or whatever may have ended with the closing of the Scripture. So the first thing that I feel that I must accomplish is to establish the fact that there is a continuation of the priesthood beyond the Scripture. My second task will be to show that if there is a continuation of the priesthood, then is the papacy or the apostolic succession the proper authority that the Bible spells out for us. So I will be using the Scripture then to lay out my case for the papacy or apostolic succession. And I will be using more than just the standard verse that I would be expected to use in Matthew chapter 16, where Jesus says, "Upon this rock I will build my church." I mean, that is an obvious verse that I would use, but I feel that in order to establish a position that I must find other verses of Scripture that would support that idea as well. So beyond Matthew chapter 16, in order to show that it is that the apostolic succession of the papacy does follow the Scripture, I think I would need to present more than just one verse of Scripture to show that, and hopefully I can do that and present a case that indeed apostolic succession is valid today, and that the Catholic Church follows that apostolic succession. And again, I would be using the RSV and going back through it, giving support for apostolic succession, more support for Matthew chapter 16 by showing other verses of Scriptures in the Bible that I feel will be related to that as well. And third, beyond the Bible itself, is there church tradition that supports the papacy or the apostolic succession of the Pope? What did the early church fathers have to say? What has church history had to say about this? In other words, what is there in church traditions that I can glean from that will support the apostolic succession and the papacy itself? And to give those to Albert where he can see them and see where I get my documentation from, where other sources are, where he can read them and evaluate them for himself, to be sure that I haven't misunderstood the article or misrepresented an article. But anyway, again, the third point will be to show that there is church tradition that supports this view as well. I hope that the viewers will enjoy these videos, and I've gotten several emails from some people, and let me remind you that Albert and I are not out to determine a win-lose situation here. We're out to learn from each other. It's not did I defeat him and did he defeat me? I don't think that's the purpose of what he's trying to do, and I know it's not the purpose of what I'm trying to do. We're trying to enter into an intellectual debate here where people can see the evidence that I present, the things that Albert wants to present, and come to a better understanding of the question at hand. And I know Albert will do a fine job, and I hope that I can present to him something that he can work with and something that will be sufficient to establish my position. Albert, thank you again for this opportunity to do that, and I look forward to comments from viewers on the upcoming debate, and your respectful comments will be appreciated. Until then, this is Ben Golly saying, God bless.